Guys, what's going on? So I hope you guys are well. I hope you guys are staying safe. So guys, I hope you guys are all well. Smash the like button, guys. Everyone, that's watching the video, give the like button a smash. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed already. And just share the videos. Keep supporting me. Keep supporting my channel. And hopefully we'll keep growing and our community will keep growing. We've got over 15,140 subscribers now, which is, impressive. I didn't ever think that I'd have that many subscribers. So yeah, thank you everyone that's subbed. And yeah, it feels strange. I remember one person telling me that sometimes you think like 15,000 subscribers when you see people with 100,000, 300,000, 400,000. But just think about it. If you were speaking in front of 100 people, you had an audience, and you were speaking somewhere where there was 100 people. How intimidating is that? You got 15,000 people, 15,000 subscribers. Yeah, they might not all watch it, but look how many are watching it and how big your audience is. But obviously I don't see you guys, or I don't see all of you guys when you guys are watching my video. So it's a completely different. I'm talking to a camera, then uploading the videos, and then you guys click on it. But still, to have 15,000 subscribers makes me feel great, and I can't thank you guys enough. But yeah, getting on to what I wanted to talk about is the Oscar Valdez situation. The judge has come out and said that, the 117, 110 scorecard was a poor scorecard from his part, and he's admitted that his performance was poor. This is the first time I can't remember a judge coming out and saying that his decision was poor. I think this is good in terms of it setting a precedent where the judge can say, because you know what, judging is subjective. That's why I don't normally tend to score fights. I look at it like the momentum, the flow of the fight, because judging around can be very subjective. It's a very subjective. It's like someone can score it to that guy, someone else could score it to that guy. It's what you're looking at. It's what you're looking for. So sometimes a scorecard for me is very subjective. There's no right or wrong answer. And that's the thing about other sports. There's a right or wrong answer. The ball goes out of play, it's a right or wrong answer. In boxing, there's no real right or wrong answer when it goes to decisions. Yeah, there's certain decisions, right? Certain decisions like Manny Pacquiao, Bradley, where it's just totally a shambles. And you just know that can't be right. But there's certain fights which are close. And, it's very subjective. It's not a clear-cut answer. Now, I've watched the fight again with Oscar Valdez and Robson Conceicao. And my stance is this. Because when I made the video previously, I had watched the fight. I had watched extended highlights of it. Whereas now I watched the full fight. And my stance stays the same, but it changes a little bit after watching the fight. My stance is that I believe Robson Conceicao deserved that decision. He deserved that decision. However, I'm not going to go as far as saying it's a robbery. I know there's many that disagree with my opinion. I'm not going to go as far as saying that it was a robbery. I think Valdez did some good stuff in that fight as well, which, is being overlooked. Someone said to me that, in the comment section, look at Valdez's face. Look at the punches landed. As I explained in my previous video, punches landed, you could land 50 punches in one round. But that's only you winning one round. What about the other 10 rounds? How do you know, what are the punch stats for every round? See, those punches at the end, those punches that you see, the punch stats at the end for the whole fight, it can be deceiving because you don't know when those punches are landed and what round, right? Some guy could do really well early on where he's landing a lot of punches, but then he gets tired. And later on, his output decreases because he's tired. Do you see where I'm coming from? In terms of Oscar Valdez, I've said about Oscar Valdez, he needs to improve his defense. His defense is very poor. If he wants to hang around at a top level for a long time, he needs to improve that. Otherwise, it's going to be very difficult for him, longevity, and to beat some of the top guys. But I say that to say this. You can't judge a fight because somebody's face looks bruised and battered and say he lost the fight because of that. And I saw a lot of people saying that, look at his face. His face clearly shows you lost the fight. How? Yeah, he got hit a lot. I know how Valdez gets hit a lot. Not just this fight. I saw a previous fight, Scott Quigg. Go watch that fight. The guy gets hit a lot. But to judge a fight and say, well, he didn't deserve the decision because he got hit a lot, that's nonsense. You don't judge a fight like that. You don't judge a fight, oh, we're looking at the fight and say, well, that guy looks like he's been battered, so, you know, he lost that fight. That's nonsense, man. That's an absolute nonsense. I think Robson Conceicao deserved that. You see, here's the thing. Jamel Charlo and Castano, I felt Castano won that fight. But I wasn't shouting robbery. I'm not the type of person that shouts robbery. I felt Jamel won that fight. I felt Castano won that fight, but it was a draw. I don't think it was a robbery. You know, I think it was close. The same way with Taylor and Prograis, I think the fight was a draw. But Taylor got the nod. I haven't got a problem with that. I'm not shouting robbery because it was a close fight. You know, so I haven't really got an issue with that. But unless you think, like some people had it 9-3 to Conceicao, so in your opinion, it wasn't even close. So, but I don't think that fight was, from what I saw, I think Conceicao did well early on, but I thought Valdez came into the fight. You know, so like I said, I think Conceicao is a very good fighter. Very, very good fighter. And I think he deserved the win. I think he deserved the win, to be honest with you. I'm just going to be honest. I think he deserved to win that fight. But I think it was close as well. I think Valdez did certain things that probably were overlooked by certain fans. You know, you don't judge a fight because a guy looks like he's got a lot of bruises and he's been hit a lot and he looks battered. That's not how you judge fights. You judge fights on, you know, the punches landing, you know, who's the aggressor, who's the one that's, you know, in charge of the fight. There's a lot of things that you got to look at when you're judging a fight. You know, some people just give a round to somebody for aggression. You know, everyone sees things differently, man. That's why I'm saying in boxing, judging is very subjective. There's a lot of people that thought Valdez won. But there's a lot of people that thought Conceicao won it wide. But there are people that thought Valdez won. So what I'm saying is, how are we going from a lot of people thinking Conceicao won wide to people thinking Valdez won? Because people see things differently. Some people are biased. Some people just see things differently. You guys know that I'm not biased. I'm telling you that I think Conceicao won that fight. After watching the fight, for me, Conceicao won that fight. However, I think it was close. I don't think it was as wide as what people making it out to be. You know, Conceicao probably just nicked it. But I haven't got a problem with, you know, maybe I can see what people, I think if the fight was a draw, I think people may have not complained as much. Because I know there's certain people that think Conceicao won clearly. I think if it was a draw, I think the fact that Valdez got the decision. See, I think same with Castano and Jamel. I think people, although they did talk and they did say Castano won, I don't think it was as bad because Castano got a draw. And what that does is that kind of quietens people because it kind of makes it even and we're going to have a future fight. Here in this case, Conceicao, a lot of people thought he won. But also the fact that he didn't even get anything for his effort. You know, he lost. And he's probably not going to get a rematch. He's probably not going to get any of that. So this is where I think a lot of the fans are probably upset. But I don't think the fight was one-sided. I don't think it was a case where, you know, he was getting battered from pillar to post. I think, you know, Valdez did things in there as well. Valdez landed shots in there as well. This is what... Maybe people were just upset with the situation prior about the drugs test, so they weren't willing to give Valdez any credit. I don't know, but I just don't see how that fight, people had that fight one-sided. You know, I think it was a good fight. Good fight. It was a cracking fight, you know, a fight that I enjoyed, and I'd love to see it again. Conceicao is a very good fighter. Very, very good fighter. You know, where's the, like, nobody even talked about him or knew about him. You know, this is what I mean. You've got fighters like that nobody really talks about. They're in, you know, they're in the, you know, they're not even known. And look how good Robson Conceicao was. I feel like Robson Conceicao, if he believed in himself a little bit more, he could have probably taken that fight by the scruff of the neck, and who knows, could have taken Valdez apart. And in the rematch, if he was to rematch him, maybe he completely schools him, because he was very athletically gifted to me, Robson Conceicao. And in the rematch, he might just completely wipe the floor with Valdez. Who knows? Because from what I saw, the guy is a very, very skillful fighter. And early on in that fight, he was really, really dominating that fight. You know, so Conceicao, he can fight. You know, and hopefully we get to see a rematch in the future, or we get to see Conceicao against Jamel Herring or Shakur Stevenson. I think that's a different ballgame, because those guys are very skilled as well. But we know Shakur and Jamel are fighting, so the winner of that, you know, I think Valdez is gonna have to up his game, because I had few people having a go at me because I said I think Valdez and Jamel and Shakur would beat Valdez. Saying, oh, well, who they fought this? Listen, man, they're very skilled fighters, and they're defensively a lot more sound than Valdez. Valdez gets hit a lot. And remember, Valdez is a smaller guy, you know, and he gets hit a lot. And those guys are bigger than him. So, yeah, that's going to be a tough fight. They're going to be some tough fights for him. But Valdez is a warrior. He's a tough guy. I like Valdez. Exciting to watch. You know, hopefully he can do the rematch with Robson Conceicao. You know, I feel like when a fight's close, or when people think you lost, I think you should run it back to prove that you're the better fighter. You know? I don't think Valdez will, because it's kind of like a risk, isn't it? It's a high risk, low reward kind of thing for Valdez. So I can't see him going back and fighting Robson Conceicao. But if he does, you're gonna have to give him a lot of respect, because for me, like I said, I think Robson Conceicao probably just nicked that fight. So, you know, yeah, let's see what happens anyway. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below, guys. Let me know what you think about the judge saying, you know, that, you know, he made a mistake, a poor decision. I personally think that, you know, that scorecard was bad. And I think that's what I was coming on to, that I think certain scorecards, you can't understand. Like, even though it's a subjective sport, sometimes it's hard to see how that judge scored it that way. Like when the Triple G Canelo fight, it was hard to see how one of the judges had it 118, 110 in the first fight to Canelo. That just didn't make any sense. You know, just didn't make any sense. So fair play to the judge, man. He's come out and he said that, you know, he's made a mistake. He made a mistake, man. It can happen. We're humans. We can have an error of judgment sometimes. It's just the way it is. But yeah, leave your thoughts, guys. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. And guys, remember to please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.